An unorganized chase is not gaining ground on Norman Stadler, cruising to the marathon, where big German leads always die. Promotional consideration provided by the King Kamehameha Hotel. History lessons. In 2000, Norman Stadler was the leader after the bike in the Ironman. But Norman Stadler wasn't the leader at the end of the race. 2 years later, Stadler was reduced to a painful walk. He had nothing left. Then in 2003, history repeats as Stadler roars to the lead, only to see Peter Reed on a Leahy Drive. Is he doomed to repeat history? Because with the 6th fastest bike ride ever, Norman Stadler is doing it again. His lead, 11 minutes. Spirits seem good, but it's hard not to watch him looking for a first sign of weakness. His bike is all alone in T2. Stadler heads out, wondering who the first challenger might be that he sees on the horizon. But there's no one there.
Stadler is coming at us now, people! Here we go!
Now the game changes. Stadler is not dealing with a strength here. Tim DeBoom is capable of running faster than him. You start doing the math. Peter Reed, too, many minutes faster than Stadler. It keeps him going. Nina Kraft has finished 2nd and 3rd twice. That hurts and motivates. Natasha Bodman, experienced as it gets, and seems fine with the way things are going. Stadler runs alone on a Leahy Drive. So far, he shows no weakness on the run, but so far there is nothing to compare him to. The first man after Stadler to arrive at the run transition sends everybody scrambling for their programs. Torbjorn Sindball of Denmark, number 134. 1 minute later, another German, Alex Taubert. Sindball hits the road. Taubert presses to join him. Faris Al Sultan, 4th place. New blood in the marathon. Men who could redefine themselves here in Kona. Stadler has to be thinking about the past champions. Like Tim DeBoom, who finally arrives on the scene with others, but he and they are over 20 minutes behind. Al Sultan tries to get in rhythm in his early strides. 20 seconds after Tim DeBoom, Peter Reed shows up, running toward the transition where Tim DeBoom chews on his drafting penalty that costs him 4 minutes. Stadler's muscles and cadence look strong. No sign of cracks. As the legendary stalking by Peter Reed begins. DeBoom gets out of the box, but that penalty is devastating.
Peter Reed, our defending champion!
Now Everyone who can challenge him is out on the Hawaiian streets. Question is, did Reed and DeBoom let Norman Stadler get too far in front? The mystique of the Ironman. Luke Bell was drawn to it. Now, crushed by it. A year ago, he was 5th.
You okay?
Now, just a number.
Legs up a little higher, please.
Nothing is guaranteed for anyone. But it won't be long before he says, I'll be back next year. The women's race leader arrives at the bike-to-run transition, and after 114 miles, almost prances toward what awaits her, a 4-minute penalty for drafting. The update on Norman Stadler is easy. Nobody in sight, nothing to worry about, except history. Stadler certainly looks a lot better than the man now in second place, another German, Alex Torber. And better than Faris Al-Sultan, another German. Hey, forget training at altitude. Everybody to the Hofbrauhaus. Torbjorn Sindball of Denmark has fallen to 4th and really seems laboring under the very hot Hawaiian sun. The pace of Peter Reed is strong and purposeful. On this stretch of a short out and back on Ali'i Drive, he knows he will finally get a peek at Stadler and what the situation is. That happens now, and Stadler makes an impression in Peter Reed's mind. What might that be?
Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Nina Kraft exits the penalty box. The fact that she still has a big lead doesn't slow her pace at all. Tim DeBoom is out on that same let's see what the competition is doing stretch of Ali'i Drive. That competition? Peter Reed. And since Tim knows these roads like he lives here, he knows that he's made an already difficult comeback that much harder with the penalty. So the Ironman remains a German story. Stadler here, Nina Kraft there, all sunblocked, hydrated, and still in the lead. And waiting for her competition, which looks to be Natasha Bodman, bothered by nothing. Cap pulled down low, Nina Kraft may be thinking about the heat. Maybe also thinking about Natasha. In the aid station, Kraft grabs everything she can get a hold of to cool down. Kate Major is in the final miles, and so is Heather Fuhr. But the deficits they will be facing in the marathon are monumental. For example, Natasha Bodman arrives at the transition in second place. 12 minutes back. And that deficit is growing. Bodman is away and looks fresh as ever. Kate Majors soon follows. Bodman is reaching that same critical point of the marathon course, the early turnaround, where you get a look at the one you're chasing, gauge their look, and the time you're behind. Bodman now knows we're talking miles behind. Heather Fuhr is 12 more minutes behind Natasha. She's faster than just about anyone out here, but at some point reality has to kick in. So it comes down to this. In the Ironman, where they have always said you can't win this race on the bike, could it happen not once, but twice? And in the same day? Train all year for this day, and there is still so much beyond your control, as number 1390 is finding out.
Yeah, so you're gonna ride it. That's not safe to ride. Walk it like that. Cool? I'm not taking a chance. Are you planning to?
Chris, they said you can walk the bike.
I'm walking it. Just leave it that way. We'll just. That's it. It's on my shoulder, and I'm walking it in.
Just take your time, man. You still got time. You got plenty of time.
It was a motorcycle that hit Chris Sadowski.
Okay? All right on, bro.
All right. Oh, yeah.
Glory does not come easily here. She doesn't care how you wanted it to be. Chris, she dares you now to walk the final 7 miles, socks on your feet and the asphalt burning hot. Then the Ironman demands a marathon on those very same feet. This is your path. They've given you your number. Ryan Sutter, the Bachelorette's husband, out on his own to be more than that, to be an Ironman too. Looking good, without any small talk, at mile 85. Tracy Richardson, mile 65, riding as hard as a mom can for her 2 kids. Money raised, research to be done, awareness achieved, hope. This is what she can do now. Sarah Reinertsen. She doesn't cry when she talks about the day her leg was amputated. But she does when she tells about the soccer coach who used to make her practice alone. Want to get her going? Tell her she can't do something like this. Chris Sadowski still trying to be more than just number 1390. He has taken on his misfortune head on so that he can be an Ironman. People are cheering now. Kona is famous for that. Nina Kraft is the first woman they see. That's all many of them know. Many others know they have never seen her win here before. One other thing, They won't see another woman for 12 minutes. This is the woman they know, Natasha Bodman. But Natasha is not gaining her usual ground. Her textbook charge hasn't come. The one history says she will make. She is not making yet. Bodman has said she learned far more the years she did not win than the ones she did. Heather Fuhr hasn't won in 7 years and has done a lot of learning. One thing she has learned is how to use her speed, like she is here. She is gaining fast on those in front of her. Four. That is the number given to Norman Stadler, because that is where he finished last year. Been there, done that. He's been told this can't be done. The Germans are haunted by it. How you spend everything on the bike and then don't have enough gas left to run. He's also haunted, or is it inspired, by what has happened to him in the past with the man who is back there again. Norman wants that number. The three-time champion Peter Reed spent so much of the bike in a pack that seemed unable to create any urgency. But he has always been willing to pay the price here and play out this strategy, save some for the run. There is no way Norman Stadler knows what is happening behind him. If he did, he would view it as bad news. Reed hauls in Torbjorn Sindball of Denmark. He is gaining fast. Next up is Alex Taubert of Germany. Is it a question of them falling or Reed continuing to gain? Actually, it's both. Faris Al-Sultan may have even imagined what it would be like to finish second in the Ironman. He feels Reed's presence as well. The leader, Stadler, is covering the same miles where he and his countrymen have melted over the years. Doesn't look that way this time. He is all alone. Get a lot of attention when you are the leader of the Ironman. Especially when you're the only thing in sight.
Norman Stadler, number 4.
He had a solid swim, but Norman Stadler clinched his first ever Ironman triathlon on the bike with a scorching ride. As a result, next year, he gets a new number. He's won the way they said you could not, and now lets the noise of Ali'i Drive wash over him. How do you celebrate something like this? You can try and slow it down and make it last. Think of the thousands of miles you trained when no one was watching, and how you get to have your greatest day when it feels like the whole world is. Or maybe splurge. Looks like it might be strawberry. In the final miles of the women's race, Nina Kraft seems poised to create a German sweep. There's no reason to expect anything like a major collapse, even though it has happened to others poised to win. So, Natasha Bodman keeps going, and she reaches the final turnaround in the race. Here, she can really see what she's up against. When she sees Nina, she knows. Kraft is about 2 miles ahead of her. That is a ridiculous advantage. Still double digits of time. You'd never know it from looking at Natasha's face. It's all real now for Norman Stadler, whisked to the finish by the cheers of thousands. He's changed the way triathletes can think about this race. The 2004 Ironman World Champion at the pier, where it all began 140 miles ago.